Hey, what's up guys? This is Anthony from Anthony's Customs, and for this review, we are looking at the new CYCLOPS from the Marvel 80 Years Uncanny X-Men Retro Carded Figure batch of figures. And this is, other than the traditional Jim Lee blue and yellow outfit, this is my favorite look for CYCLOPS. It's one of the very first action figures I owned, the original release, and so maybe that's why. But I was very partial to this when it got announced. I was very excited for it. And it had some option parts which made many people very excited. Obviously we have the head right there with the little spritzes of power, and then we have the other head, and it was just a very big deal when it got announced. And I'm wondering how people are receiving it, because I know how I'm receiving it, and we're going to get into that in just a minute. But if you want to let me know in the comments section below what you think, please do so. I'd love to discuss it with you. So let's go ahead and get it off the stand and take a closer look. And this guy stands just about 6 5/8 inches, which makes him pretty close to 16.5 centimeters. So standard Bucky Cap build. I do think we have a few new parts here. It looks like even these feet, which look like the Bucky Cap feet, they're completely smooth this time. So maybe some slight retooling there. Maybe they took out the details. I'm not sure. But most of these parts are reused parts, so there's not a whole lot to be surprised about here. However, they did some things which are kind of strange, and some things that are kind of good. First of all, he's got a lot of white on him. About half of it is molded, and half of it is painted. The molded parts look fine, mostly. The painted parts look like crap, mostly. So this bicep, for instance, this upper arm right here, it is just a mess. I hope it shows up, but it looks disgusting. It's barely even white. There's blue showing through, there's brown, there's actual spots of blue on it. It looks terrible. This side's not as bad, but it's not great. And the white that they painted, it does not match the white that's molded. And then on the white that's molded for the shoulders, it's got blue on it, and it's... I don't understand. I don't understand why. Like, even this white and this white don't match, and they should be the same material, but they're not. I mean, they don't match. This one being a different material makes sense. I mean, I like that they molded the chest in white. That's awesome, but we still got blue all over it somehow. And it doesn't match. So what the heck? The legs are all painted. It's glossy. The white's a mess on this figure, honestly. They just got white everywhere, and it's none of it's the same. None of it is the same. It's not good. It's very disappointing. But at least the blue, the metallic blue, should be good, right? Well, almost. Almost. The painted metallic blue looks great on the chest. It looks really good. Pelvis too, that's all painted. That's awesome. We have some molded parts on the arms and painted parts. They don't line up. Then the molded parts on the legs and painted parts on the legs don't match. The different color is very obvious. I'm hoping it shows up on camera like it does in real life. It's not like there's shadows casted. This is significantly darker and bluer than this. This painted blue has the tiniest hint of yellow in it and is a lot lighter than the legs or than the other parts. So aesthetically, that really destroys the look of the figure. I know a lot of people had reservations when they showed a figure that required this much white paint on it, but I don't think anybody expected it to be this bad. It's very disappointing for me. Very disappointing. As far as the other aesthetics go, one of the issues is an articulation issue. We'll get to that. Here's the thing. We have these little spritzes of psionic, that's not what it is, optic blast. I've been playing too much Destiny. Optic blast here, which is a really nice piece. I like that a whole lot. That should be an accessory though. Not the piece of the blast, but the head itself should be an accessory. Because we don't have a normal head for him. We have the blasty head, and then we have the one that looks like he's got fake eyelashes on. So that's like, I love that they made those parts. But for a figure release, we need a neutral head. We don't want him just standing there looking like he's shooting stuff out of his face. Like, that's just weird. Right? Am I the only one that thinks that? How often is Cyclops just walking around with shit popping off of his face? Like, that's not a thing. It's weird. I don't like that. As the main head, it's very strange. I don't know. Okay, so aesthetically speaking, let's move on. Let's get on with this review. Aesthetically speaking, this figure blows. They screwed the paints up ridiculously. Like, the lines are clean, but that's about it. So 5 out of 10. Mine, at least, is terrible. I hope you guys found ones that had better paint jobs, but my paint job is gross. It's bad. Okay, now as far as the accessories go, we have the alternate head. So we have the head with the little eyelashes sticking off on the sides, and then we have the head with the optic blast. And this one's fine-ish. The optic blast is removable. I assume that's just, I mean, obviously it's for manufacturing purposes, but maybe also just for packaging, because there's no like alternative thing. The only use is to put it in. That's what she said. It is fine. It looks cool. It has texture on the bottom and no texture on the top, which is kind of an odd choice, but that's the way it is. The little spritzes on the side match it nicely. I mean, that looks good. That's how it is often in the comics, so that's good. The sculpt of the mouth is pretty good. I like that. And the paint is questionable. We have some skin tone on the visor, but it's not going to be super noticeable. And the head is glued in, like the face is a separate piece. It's glued in pretty well, and it looks okay. And then the white on the top of the head looks okay too. So the alternate head is pretty nice. I like that. But they both should be alternate heads. There's just no neutral head here, so it looks weird. I don't know, guys. Let me know what you guys think about that. I'm very curious. So accessory-wise, alternate head's awesome. I'll give it a 7, I guess. 7 for accessories, because we do have 2 blasty heads and just no normal head, so we're definitely missing a normal head. To me, that's a gross oversight, but whatever. Alright, on to the articulation. On this Bucky Cat mold, we have done so many heads that were perfectly seated on the neck that I thought this would be too, but somehow we got a lollipop again. How did we get a lollipop on this? After using this mold for so long, it sits up too high. It's not a huge deal, but you can see the amount of lollipop in there, even though it's minimal, is just enough to make the head sit too high and look weird and look dorky. If that head was down just the tiniest little bit, and I'll Photoshop it so you can see, it would look so much better. And it would fit better, it would look better, it'd be great. But it's not, we have a lollipop. So that's kind of a bummer. But we do get full rotation, of course. As you saw, you can look up and down all the way. And then you do get an excessive amount of twist because it's not connected to the neck. Shoulders, just about horizontal, full rotation, bicep swivel. Double jointed elbow, though with this glove on here, he can't bend his arm very far. So the only way he can touch his visor is if you turn his head all the way to the side and bring his arm over this way. And even then it's questionable. So that's like what that hand's for, pretty much. No jokes going in there. It's just, how are you going to have Cyclops not be able to touch his visor? That's kind of an important part of him using his visor. So that's pretty crappy. Wrists have a swivel and a hinge, both sides. Ab crunch goes back 2 notches. We get a huge pizza oven in there, but that's okay, I guess. Whoa, it goes all the way forward this time. It's odd to me how much this mold is changing. Why is that square? Look at that. Why is this piece right here square? Round it out so that when you do this, it curves with the body. What the heck? I don't remember noticing it be that bad before, but that's really weird. How square that, like that's almost a 90-degree bend from the inside piece to here. And it's intended to be used. So what? Why? Look at that. That's a big gap. That's freaking weird. How did things like that happen? Whatever. Waist twist is there. Hips go all the way forward, better than horizontal, so that's good. They go a little bit back. Out to the side is a little bit better than 45. That's all good. Thigh swivel's fine. Double jointed knee is fine. By the way, all the pegs are still the wrong color on the inside. They still haven't painted them. We do have a swivel at the boot, and the ankles go all the way back and pretty far forward and have a nice ankle rocker. So, yeah, pretty much average articulation. I'll give it a, that ab crunch is freaking weird. Lollipop syndrome on the head. Elbow doesn't bend. 7 out of 10 being generous. Not being able to touch the visor is lame. Lollipop syndrome is lame. Pizza oven chest and back is lame. This figure is one that, like, the one I was looking most looking forward to, however you say that. And they really just phoned it in completely. I mean, Union Jack has a more complex paint job than this, and his looks beautiful, whereas this one looks like stank. It's stanky. It's not good. That's disappointing as heck. So I know this is not going to be a popular review because everybody wanted Cyclops like I did. And it's not my fault it's no good, but I'm here to tell you so that you can decide if you want to pay for it still or not. I mean, that's what a review is for. I'd be much happier if this was something I was really pleased to own, but they really kind of shit the bed on it. So final verdict on this guy gets an incredibly generous 7 at best, but probably a 6 if you were being really, really honest and really looking in at the figure. 6 out of 10 is what I'm going to go with. So yeah, very disappointed. I would have been so pleased for this to be a good release, but it's really not. So there it is, guys. Thanks for watching. If you made it this far, go ahead and give the video a thumbs up. I'd really appreciate it. And if you did but still hated the video, go ahead and give it a thumbs down. That's okay. If you want to subscribe, you might consider it. It's a pretty good channel. We have thousands of videos already here waiting for you to watch, and new ones coming out just about every single day. So make sure you come back for that. And in the meantime, keep collecting.